Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TARDIS Zones Family of Blood watch along. I am sorry I am late. I will explain when everybody gets in, or we get as many as we can in, and I'll explain to you all. But if you could do me a favor right now, everybody that's in the chat, if you could share the link, get it out there, let people know that we are live, please, and get you our copies of Family of Blood ready. So I hope everybody is doing well. Hasn't been the best weekend, I have to be honest, but you know, tomorrow's a new week, as they say. Right, I think I've sent it to everybody that I can there. So yeah. Right. Let's see who's in the chat. We've got Daniel in the chat. We've got PD Rich, and we've got the third doctor. Don't worry, Daniel. I will be putting the link in the chat there. It's easier that way instead of going through all the emails, isn't it? Hey, Matthew. Nice to see you. There you go, Daniel. We got Problem Being in the chat. Welcome. I'll wait until a few more come in, and then I'll explain why I'm late. So Daniel has joined us. Lee, what are you doing in the new Who Watch Along? Money messing. You can stay. You can stay, because it's probably too late for Rabbi now at this stage. Well, you're definitely not coming on. So, like, I don't know what you're playing at. Yeah, weather is horrible. Hey, Shane. Charlotte is here as well. Matthew Pounder, as I said. So there we go. Hey guys, I'll be listening today, but for the most part, I can't chat. That's fine, Vanessa. You look after yourself and enjoy what you're doing. Shane is here as well. Welcome, Shane. Who else is to see? Because it is late now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to get the same panel on. So I'll bring the guests on that I have on right now, and we'll see if any of the other people that normally come on this panel with us turn up. And if they do, then we'll add them. I'll bring him on. It's the one and only Scottish Davros.
You know how you get in?
I'm not too bad. I'll explain now to everybody in a minute when I get Lee on. So Lee is here as well.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Right. So as you know, yesterday when we were doing the classic watch along, I wasn't really talking that much, as some of you might have noticed, because some people in the chat obviously did notice and says, "Where's Noel?" Well, what I told people in the private chat only half of the story. So Cheryl got low blood pressure. Obviously, with all the stresses, all the crap that's going on, her blood pressure dropped. And when she was going to bed, she got up off the sofa and she says to me that she felt a little lightheaded. And I said, "Do you want a hand into bed?" And she goes, "No." She says she was grand, right? Maybe on second, this is why I feel bad, because maybe on second, thinking about, I should have insisted that I help her into bed. But she said she was fine. And she got outside the sitting room door, and literally about 30 seconds later, all I hear is a bang. I go outside and Cheryl is on the floor after banging her elbow and her head against the door. She collapsed because of the low blood pressure. Now, this is brought on, and I'm not trying to point fingers here or say whatever. This has got to do with all the bull that's gone on these past few months. Now, I'm not here to give out, not here to point fingers, and I'm not here to have a big rant because I'm sick of it all, right? It needs to stop. It just end off. It just all needs to stop because it's not just me that's being affected. My wife is being affected. My friends are being affected by it, and it's just not doing anybody good. Now, we've already seen today, I've been on Twitter briefly, and I've already seen Eddie has posted something up because someone is calling someone a racist. Like, I mean, the behaviour of these fans is absolutely ridiculous. And, you know, it needs to stop. And BBC really need to actually come out and do something about this. I'll give you a laugh, though, right? Yeah, because we're going to start to watch along ASAP. But I'll give you a laugh. So just remember the tweet that I put up about a certain account out there that was on Twitter that was suspended. And do you remember when they came back with a new account, a certain person from, say, that did work for Big Finish and did work for Doctor Who magazine. And I pointed out the fact that this person had welcomed back a bully. Well, the tweet must have been reported left, right, and centre because last night I got an email off them, right, to say that my tweet hasn't violated any of Twitter's rules and the tweet can stay up, right? So basically, Twitter agree with me when I called this person a bully and when I said that this bully was being supported by someone and it was a disgrace. Twitter agreed with me. So I got that. I stuck it up on Twitter actually last night. If you want to have a look at it, it's bleeding hilarious. But look, it all needs to stop because there's people. I mean, look, this fandom wasn't this bad. We know when this all started to go horribly wrong, right? That's all I'm going to say, but it all needs to stop because someone's going to really get seriously hurt. Now, the reason why I've been late is because I haven't been sleeping well. Even though I do stay up late, and some people know that I stay up late, I always get up. I'm always on time for the watch-alongs. I always do what I have to do. But I haven't been sleeping properly. I've been worrying about Cheryl. You know, she hasn't been, obviously, you know, after she fell, she hasn't been feeling that great. She's got a pain in her head now. Her elbow is cut. I'm just like, you know, it's just getting
too much. It's too much
now. I'm not here to give out or point fingers or anything because I'm gone past that stage now. I just want it all to stop. Listen, if you don't like whatever news I put out there, just move on and get a life. You know, you leave me alone. I wouldn't have any reason to defend myself at all. It's as simple as that. So why doesn't everybody just live and let live? Do what you want to do. Do your videos, do your streams, whatever. Say what you want on Twitter, but don't be coming and attacking people because they have different opinions than you. It's ridiculous. That's what it, you know. I just look, as I said, I'm not going to call out names or point fingers. There's no point, but it just all needs to stop now because I seriously, this is no way to live. No way to live. We're worried about her now. It's not on. It's not on at all. But there you go. It is what it is. But I just hope people out there, some people out there, listen to me because you know it's getting ridiculous now. I also seen something else. Someone that used to be here in the chat, they've disappeared now just recently. Calling us out and calling us not my doctors, all of a sudden changing their tune, you know. So I mean, look, there's a lot of backstabbing as well going on. So just be careful who you talk to out there. You know what I mean? So just, you know, let's do what we came here to do anyway, which is the family of blood. So we will, if anybody else actually that hasn't, that wants to be on the panel.
PD Rich is ready to come on.
Send them a link there. I don't want to put the chat link in the chat again because we had that lunatic trying to join again. Like after me saying that he never come on again. See, this is what I'm talking about. Even after I say, listen, you got a chance on the channel, you decide to take the piss, you're not coming on anymore. It's as simple as that. I want people on that are genuine. Even today, like, even after I've explained all of that, told you what's happened, you still have some clown trying to come in and act a crap. And I had some idiot last night as well send me a link to a video that they're going to be doing about me. I just blocked them straight away. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Do use our videos, right? Don't give a crap anymore, right? I won't be watching them, and I certainly won't be alerting or bringing attention to them either by posting them or whatever. So you can do your little videos, and you can, get self congratulate. You can get self congratulations off all your buddies, because that's what it's all about. Tapping each other on the shoulder, saying, "Well done, you stuck it to him. Who gives a crap?" Right, PD Rich is here.
Hello, no. How are you, mate?
I'm grand. I actually feel a bit bad because I seen Rabbi's green light was literally on about 40 minutes ago, and I was hoping I'd be able to nab him in before he went to bed, but
yeah,
it's going to be a bit late for him now. So
yeah.
out there, I'm sorry, man, but if you could do me a favor, because he normally is on the panel, if you could put his channel in the link in the chat, that'll be absolutely fantastic. What's this now? Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, PD Rich, and you've sent me a private message.
Yeah.
Same person. Yeah, even after I've explained all of that. Yeah, see, they just don't have any moral. They don't have any morals, man. They don't listen. They project a lot. We've been saying this for years, and they accuse us of.
They do, yeah.
A lot of projection. They're actually talking about themselves, and it's sad, really. Searches ourselves out.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Right.
This is our future, yeah.
Has everybody now, because Rabbi would normally give it to you if you were here, does everybody have family of blood?
I got a copy.
Yeah.
Right. So everybody on the panel's good. Is everybody in the chat good for it? I think everybody in the chat be good for it. Now, I'm going to have to pull it on the PlayStation. And I'm going to use my earphones. So let me get set up. But while I'm getting set up, do you guys want to talk a little bit about to last week's episode, just to kind of fill people in, just in case there's anybody in the chat that hasn't seen Human Nature, if you just want to fill them in.
Okay, so who would you like to go first to he go first because he's usually the talking to talk. So do you want to kick things off because you're usually dying to talk?
Yeah. Last time on Doctor Who.
No, you carry on, man. You do your thing.
All right, last Sunday we watched Human Nature, the first part, the two-part story where obviously David Enid has to basically use the alien arch and transform into human, meaning like his true soul, and what others can into from the pocket the pocket watch the powers the chameleon because it causes more that you already know is on him and Martha Jones are all on the from the family bill. So it's the safest so it's the safest to keep them to keep them off safe because that's because that's for animal are extremely dangerous and that's the best synopsis I can and that's the best and that's the best and the best synopsis I could come up with. So yeah.
That's good. It's also quite a clever piece of foreshadowing as well, because
Yeah.
obviously later on in the series we come across again a similar situation, and so it does set a precedent, which I think is important when you're establishing lore and canon, which is ironic because the writer decided that canon it should be kicked to the curb where it belongs. I think that was his quote. But yet here he is setting up canon.
Exactly.
So I mean that's why it's important, you know.
Well,
that's
they're hypocritical, aren't they? They're just like their fans. They're all a bunch of hypocrites, and
pretty much.
You know, at the end of the day, again, someone tried to come into the studio there, and they've photoshopped my head onto some image or some body. It's is I know who it is as well because they told me that you're going to be doing a video. I don't care. Do whatever you want. You won't be coming into this studio.
You're only showing yourselves up at the end of the day.
Right, that's it. It doesn't matter, Lee. Doesn't matter. It's just it's childish.
I just don't understand it. Yeah. I mean, it's purely out of boredom, and all I always say is just stop, think about what you're doing actually, and get a fucking life, man.
I would actually say to them, think about if it was one of your members of your family that was being trolled and bullied by someone out there, and how they would feel, and what it would do to them. Unless you don't think like that. See, that's the difference between, I say, us and you guys, is you don't think in those terms, and you should really, because if it was happening to one of your family members and it was someone out there that was doing what you were doing, then you'd know how they felt. And then I don't think yous would do anything like that unless yous are really heartless and yous really don't give a crap. And if that's the case, and that's the generation of kids that we're raising now, well, then I feel sorry for the world. There's no warmth, no love, no kindness. Well, what can we do?
No, there's just no empathy in this generation.
Right, I'm getting the episode ready because that's what we're here for.
Anywho.
So, I just realised what's on next week, and I can't wait. Next week is a good one. I'm gonna do this now. It's Blink next week.
Yeah. Fantastic.
It's a bit overrated, but for the first Weeping Angel story, it's pretty impressive.
You see, I don't think it is overrated. I think it's well deserved. I think a lot of revisionists are trying to make it less than what it was. I do think it was rather a groundbreaking episode. It was a great introduction to a great new villain. I think all the other episodes featuring those monsters were overrated. I think this was an original story. It's a Dr. Light story. It's quite a brave move. I still enjoy it. I think it's well deserved of its place. I think that people who are just now trying to retroactively try and sort of diminish it, I think it's somewhat dishonest. Quite honestly, I think it does deserve its place. I don't think it's overrated at all. I think it is a really good.
I'm not being dishonest.
Well, no, I'm not saying that you're being dishonest. I'm just saying that a lot of people do seem to jump on this kind of bandwagon.
This is why he's not on the new Who Watchalong.
I just think that's a
one.
meme in itself. You know, I don't think it is overrated. I think
Oh,
it is
I don't
a
know. I
classic.
just think the story is basic enough. It's nothing groundbreaking, but the Weeping Angels themselves are very clever, and I think because they're very clever and they were something new, this is why this is overrated. Because if you actually break down the story, it's not groundbreaking at all. It's just your basic story.
Oh, I don't
We'll see
know. I
next
don't think it's quite timey-wimey, as they
It's
say.
very interesting because sometimes, Lee, as we have already found out on this panel, there's certain stories that you haven't liked. I remember on second viewing, you've obviously thought they're a little bit better. You might have a different opinion on this when you look. The story is basic. I just think the reason why it gets such high praise it is because of the Weeping Angels. I think they are very clever. It's very cleverly done. The part in the house, the mansion, is brilliant. I will say that, but it's a basic story. Two girls go to a house, one goes missing, and they find out that this house has had a history of people going missing. You know, it's nothing groundbreaking. Boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl, girl resists. There's nothing. It's nothing. And then the end scene is brilliant, as I have to say. But I just think the reason why everybody prayed because the Weeping Angels was something new. They were great, but I do think it's overrated. I think the story is basic. That's just me. That's just me.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I still think it's a great. I mean, listen, I might watch it next week and go, you know what? Maybe it is overrated. Who knows? I haven't seen it in a while, so.
No, I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just saying I do. That's my reasons for it. I do think that the Weeping Angels are Moffat's. I actually have to say they're Moffat's best creation.
Yeah, I bet they
but my favorite is the two-parter with Matt Smith and Amy Pond with River Song. The one that I know where they think the Uplands are there, but then they realise they're actually weeping angels. I thought that story was a lot better.
Yeah, well, I thought that was just kind of trying to be like Aliens, you know, but slow-moving monsters. You know, it was for me it was a bit formulaic. It felt like it was trying to be like Aliens, and the Weeping Angels more like Alien in a kind of weird way. Yeah, but I don't think it quite pulled it off. I thought it was a bit too on the nose. But you know, I do love the creation of these monsters. I just think the subsequent employment of them were a bit over the top.
Isn't it always exciting, especially as a Doctor Who fan, when they do come up with a new villain? Obviously not under Chris Chibnall as much, but under Moffat or RTD, if they come up with a new villain, we were always excited to see what they'd come up with. And you know, they've been hit and miss, I have to be honest. But overall, we haven't done too badly, I have to say.
I mean, there's some good classic New Who monsters which definitely fit in the pantheon. I don't think any of Chibnall's particularly stand that test of time. You know, I mean, really, what
let's recap. The Talker Frog, an adipose on crack in the thing, a leather jacket racist guy, an alien that's grey with teeth.
Well, remember, all Chibnall's monsters are us.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had the dregs as well. And remember, we're the dregs of society and all of this. That's what that was.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so on the nose and so offensive on so many levels.
Everybody in the chat, if you've got here's our copy of Family of Blood ready to go, let me know. I'm going to do a few shout outs. So if you let me know in the chat if you've only joined, we've got Tim there, I see. Chris is also here. Kip Ellis.
What's he doing in the chat? He should be with us.
What?
Yeah, Lord Foff should be with us, not in the chat.
All right, well, the link. Send them the link. Send them the link. Send them the link. Send them the link.
Is Lord Thoth wanting to come on? Let us know in the chat.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he could be working.
Could be working.
Tony D is here. Ninja Knight is here. Rob Fellows is here. Kip Ellis is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dun, 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 dun. Right, everybody press 1 if you're ready.
And Lord Thorther, let us know if you want to come on.
Exactly, there's plenty of room for you. Plenty of room. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a copy of the episode though, because I started late. I explained at the start of the stream, but Rabbi is not here, obviously because I'm late. So if you have the copy yourself, that's fantastic. If not, still come on, and we're going to be discussing it anyway. We've got James Dawson in the chat as well, actually. Welcome.
Yeah, some good faces there that we'll recognise and adore.
Are we skipping the recap? No, I don't skip the recap.
Push us all out of sync.
Will I skip?
I'm just going from where it, on Netflix after it, you got the BBC logo, and then from that point on.
Well, I'm watching on a DVD now, so we are going to be all out of sync. So should we all skip the?
I've got the bit where they're coming through the TARDIS door.
Yeah, that's the part.
Yeah.
Right. So
okay, no, Foff doesn't want to be on tonight.
And Ninja Knight says, "Smash the like button, folks." How are you getting on, Ninja Knight? How's the move on? Let us know in the chat. And hopefully we'll have you back next week. Hopefully you'll be available and we'll be able to get on. I got to see a little sneak preview of what Lee has put together. I just have to say, mind blown. Wait till you see this. Oh my God, I can't believe it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Do you know what? If it was me, and if I was going to design something, I probably would have come up with something similar to that, but not as good as what Lee has obviously produced. But it's just everything that. Wait till you see it. I can't wait for you to see it. It's fantastic.
I can't wait to get it done. I've still got to do a logo thing for it, so I've got to work out what I'm going to do next. Yeah. But I think I'm going to make it a bit simpler because it's my God, otherwise it'll take another week just to get that done.
Yeah, and I just noticed something though. I just want to let you know, and this is yourself because it's StreamYard. It's a 30-second limit. You're 31 seconds. 31 seconds. You're a second over. I don't know if that will.
Yeah, I mean that's a placeholder anyway. So and yeah, I mean because it says on YouTube it's 31 seconds, but in fact it's actually 30 seconds. So I think there's just extra data that YouTube.
Right. But it is very. Wait, you see it, folks. It's brilliant. I have to be honest. So, he says, we normally would deliver the presents to the family, but this year we had to use the post. It's a hassle. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's going to be a weird one this year. But look, try make the most of it. Enjoy it as much as you can, because I don't know. We'll see what happens next year when countries start rolling out this vaccine. And we'll see what kind of side effect rate there is. See if there's any deaths associated with it. See how it goes before I make any decision. I'm not going to be forced, but like at the end.
Well, if you check if you go on Google, type in academic papers on vaccines, and you'll read through those like I have. And pretty much most, if not all of them, say that vaccines take a minimum of 10 years to test, to develop, test, and to make safe. So 10 years. This thing's been what, 8 months, something like that. I'm sorry. I go with what the established science has said for decades, which is that these things take 10 years to produce and to test and to make safe. 10 years. So anything that's rushed like this, I think people have a right to be concerned about it without being called anti-vaxxers. Yeah, it's the science. You know, any. I think a lot of people in the medical professions are also worried because of how rushed this is, and I think that that's right to be. I think it's politicized too heavily. So this rush to get this thing produced has sort of overridden the typical medical and professional take, which is 10 years is the minimum time to produce and to make safe a vaccine. So it's nothing to do with being an anti-vaxxer or any of these other crazy things that people are so quick to trot out. You just have to look at what the science has said throughout the decades. If you look on academic papers, medical papers, which are available online, and the actual medical papers which are published within the medical periodicals and academic papers online, you can see you just type in vaccine development, and if you want to, you can put 10 years, and it will tell you, it will show you. If you go through all those papers, that's what it says the minimum time is. It's not disputed.
Right, someone just tried to, I know who it is, but the same person's just tried to pretend that they're rabbi to come in. Rabbi is not actually up this late, and if he was, there'd be an indication that he's up because there'd be a green light beside his name. We're not that stupid. They're still at it. Listen, let's get this watch along started anyway. So everybody is nobody else coming on now?
No.
Okay.
Both didn't want to come on.
All right, let's do it. Let's get the Lee. Do you want to do the honors and get the old countdown going there so we can get this going? Pal?
Yep, sure. Okay, everyone. Here we go. Top 2, Family of Blood. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Run, Martha, run.
We had.
So this is the recap.
Yeah. I love that book. I've always loved that book. I'd love to get one. Did they ever print a copy of that actually?
I'm not sure.
For the fans. If anybody ever gotten the.
I'm sure they did, but I never managed to get my hands on a copy, sadly. But,
I would definitely love one.
But I seem to remember them actually published it. This is just such a great two-parter, though it has to be said.
Old intro.
Yep.
God, love the old intro.
Oh yes, there was a copy published according to Teddy's Terrier Tales, though. Thanks, Cheryl.
Yeah, thanks, Cheryl, for that. I'm enjoying that title. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I do miss the old title. Should have vaporized the whole building.
Go, Martha.
I like Martha Jones.
Yeah, I do too.
She reminds me of Liz Shaw. She's a modern day Liz Shaw. Should have done more with Martha. She was going to be in Torchwood Series 3, though, so.
Yeah, right.
Then it turned to a
Okay.
special.
And yeah, kind of. The character on touch with it because she was really link within series two. They should
Yeah, that's the whole reason they got rid of Owen and Toshiko, because they were going to bring Martha and Mickey in.
yeah they should have kept after that on actually
Yeah.
because and and because she was really she was really written that series.
Yeah, she was good. I did like Freema in this. I thought she's a brilliant actor.
Yeah. And I think she's on the underrated as well.
Yeah. Yeah, as a companion, she's very underrated. It was either Rose or Donna, wasn't it, from this period?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think her mum worked as a really good antagonist as well.
Yeah, but she came across as such a bitch.
Yeah, well, that's why she went as an antagonist, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, they've only got the memories of the previous bodies. They don't actually have the full existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, but as a kid, this episode frightened to
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah, because you saw it when you were a child.
Yeah, I was, I think I was actually 12 when this episode came out. So yeah, I was still a kid. So this was
Yeah, I was about 35.
so this so this episode was very sinister. I know, but very well, but very well constructed and written. This is probably David, this is probably one of David Tennant's best outings, because he's really good in this episode.
There was always a chance he'd be leaving as a doctor in the end of this. You're right.
Yeah.
Remaining as Mr. Smith, yeah. Yeah, because this was originally a Sylvester McCoy book. It was the Seventh Doctor.
Yeah.
It was turned into an episode.
And yeah, I've never actually met the Seventh Doctor. Although I might actually try and unearth
Yeah.
that narrator.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked quite like what they were doing with Doctor Who. I think it was like it was the best of a worst time during that 90s era.
Yeah.
Best of a bad time.
This was the scene that I was telling you about last week. Do you remember?
Yeah, by them shooting the
scarecrows. This is when the kids, the moral
Yeah.
implications of what they get the kids
Yeah.
to do.
What they're going into, yeah.
Because it's, it's all
there we go.
about training all these kids in schools like this,
Yeah.
like we did back in the day. But real war is a completely different thing altogether. And, even the so-called bravest of men have crumbled, So, I mean, it's not any everybody, that goes to war.
Yeah.
Is brave in my opinion. Whether they do it for the right or wrong reasons, that's not their fault. They follow orders, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But they are brave. Any soldier that goes into action, and they World War One, World War Two. I mean, we could have been all wiped out, except for brave men, women, and children that fought to keep the world at peace.
Yeah, for what the millennials are becoming. Yeah.
And now it's the social war. It's the
Yeah.
attack on society instead, you see.
Culture war, isn't it? It's the
Yeah.
culture war, yeah.
They always shift, find a new way, right? I mean,
I know, yeah.
I mean, the Germans tried to take over the world in 2 world wars, but they've done it. They've succeeded. They've got the thing called the European Union now. They did it through politics instead.
Yeah, that's it. They did it for finance and politics. So we were all saying that.
So,
I don't know what the what you guys what your deal with you guys is in the Republic of Ireland. I always hear in the UK.
well, we're still in the if you ask the Irish people now, I don't know what they'd say actually.
Yeah.
I will say this: the European Union has had benefits to everybody.
Yeah.
But it's what you have to give back, and
that's it.
And then it just doesn't seem to be worth it. And then you don't have your own laws in your own country anymore. You have European laws.
Yeah.
So the Irish can't make their own laws. So basically, you've kind of sold your sovereignty down for money.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about Margaret Thatcher, she might have been the most hated person in Ireland.
Yeah.
But she was definitely right about the European Union.
Yeah.
One thing she was on about was the European Union. The rest of the world leaders should have listened to her. Well, the European leaders should have listened to her. We wouldn't be in the state. Remember, this was supposed to be all for trade. Right?
Yeah, I know. This is why we were all screaming and shouting when Tony Blair ran off and signed us into the EU. We didn't want that.
Now they've got their own anthem. They've got their own flag. And don't be fooled, they have their own army.
Yeah.
And this is what Lee will tell you this though. This is what the New World Order is all about.
Yeah.
Well, it is centralized power.
Yeah.
I'm more for devolvement. I think it's incumbent upon people to have some sovereignty over their own lands. If you don't have laws within your own country, then you have no country.
Exactly. You're just a state.
I mean, these lads, they fought for
even American states still have their own little bit of power.
Exactly.
I don't agree with war, but these lads actually fought for something. They fought for the freedom of the world. What are people fighting for now? Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Love this little theme.
Yeah, I love the music, yeah. By the way, go on to YouTube. There's a couple of channels that put all of Murray Gold's albums up there. I think Murray Gold has a channel actually, and you can listen to all the ones that are available. You can listen to them, or the ones that they released. Some unreleased stuff as well. And I'm telling you, guys, his stuff is worth listening to.
That's what I got a bit annoyed about when I released. I think my Series 7 soundtrack was kind of suffering from it. I kept repeating the same old tunes you heard on the Series 6 and the Series 5
I don't think that was him though, because when you look at the albums, right, there's actually different tunes on it. I just think Moffat might have wanted to keep the same familiar.
Yeah,
it does have actually other tunes on it. Listen, I hear some nights. I'll sit here some nights, a cup of tea, no mess, a cup of tea, and I'll put Murray Gold on, and I'll sit there for about an hour, and I'll listen.
Yeah.
So definitely what I found with Series, so was it? So the last one they released was a Series 9 soundtrack. It was like, it was all the same until you got to disc 3 and 4. It was all the same old stuff from Series 8.
And but although he has using compose on that, there's a kind of but that was a kind of time period.
I love this in here because there's a bit of because obviously Martha happens to be a black person, and back in those days, obviously. But this is where Nurse, whatever, what's her name?
But
Nurse?
It's not that she's also a servant, isn't she?
She's
technically lower class. It's a major classism. It's not really racism. It's more like classism.
But this is how you do it, though. This is how you address it, though. Do you know what I mean? But it wasn't
exactly.
So, like, she's just.
Yeah, it's just a time. It's like someone said to me today about it.
Deep down, she does believe Martha. She doesn't want to believe it, but she believes it.
Yeah.
That's the episode of
Got a
the,
feel for Martha in all of this, haven't you? It's just like
Yeah.
the only
When
one
you
who knows
imagine
what's
I
really
think
that,
this is a
going
brilliant
on.
two-part
Everyone's
I mean,
Martha.
the one
just
question
sees her
in
for
this was the whole point of this was that he never took into account that as a human he would fall in love, which is
Yeah.
the sad
yeah.
thing.
There was nothing in
Took that into
Banks.
account, you know. So, and he abandoned
Yeah.
her. Let's be honest, he did. He did actually
Technically did.
abandon
He
her.
treated Martha really crap, and Martha was absolutely a really strong character.
Mm.
yeah,
But she saves him time and time again.
Yeah.
You understand? But look, they do come full circle, and then they do. You know, he does do good
Yeah.
for her. You
Yeah,
know?
I know. It just, I think this series 3 needed a Nardal character turn around and say, "Look, Doctor, she bloody saved your ass so many times." You know what I mean?
He's just giving details. Like, come on.
Yeah. Come on, how many times she saved you, Doctor? You're still treating her like a second-class citizen.
I suppose that'll be considered problematic these
Like, don't
days.
get me
Oh,
wrong.
yeah.
cancel. Now cancel.
These new fans saying that David Tennant's doctor treated Martha harshly, right? But the way they go on, you think he'd bleed more than her, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
Don't get
exactly.
me wrong, he did, but he makes amends for it.
he does.
Character building is character arc. He makes amends. They come to this place where she even gives him his phone when she leaves the TARDIS and said, "I will ring you one day." And I
Yeah.
truly
Yeah.
did believe that
Yeah.
she'd ring him one day and she'd be back.
I
And
think
she
it's
was. She didn't
yeah.
say it before. And then she ended up on Torchwood, and she's brilliant in Torchwood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she
think
has
it was
amazing
really a case of
important-
treat a mean, keep a keen kind of thing. She
Right?
became a stronger character because of it.
See, the thing about it is they shouldn't like. That's why RTD is so good. See, he lost Rose, and there was a bit of
Yeah, it's the human condition being put
drama
into it.
there, you know. And maybe it was. This is probably a story of how you don't get pick
Yeah.
up the companion straight after because it
Yeah.
doesn't always work out,
Yeah.
you know.
And then you've got to also remember the Doctor's an alien. He's not human.
Yeah. So his emotions would be.
So he's probably trying to ball it up, put on a straight face, but it's just not working this time. It's not the done thing on Gallifrey.
This was brilliant. This whole scene it sends shivers up my spine.
Yeah,
Oh, look at the good little murdering girl that they released from the mirror. Oh.
Yeah.
yeah, and apparently she's
Yeah.
the most dangerous out of them all.
Yeah, she is. She's the worst. She's the ringleader.
Yeah,
She chose to be to take the little girl's body so she could infiltrate easier.
yeah,
I've noticed something though, right? So when all this lockdown stuff was actually happening, obviously one I heard the story came up about this little girl, and you know, obviously they were doing another little short story. So she's on Twitter. She is actually, and you'll notice something about all of these young actresses that used to be in Doctor Who back in the day. They're all raging feminists. Every
Oh, I
single
know.
one of them. I'm not messing. I couldn't believe it. Every single one of them. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being a feminist. It's the radical types I don't like, and you know, it's. I'm just looking and I'm like, seriously, what happened to the world that like, you know, we just can't live and let live and everybody
I know. Everyone has to fight each other because
yeah.
it's just it's like why? And it's like you can't even explain it. Here we go.
See, this is the part because watch them and the music changes as well. This is what RTD was absolutely fantastic at. Watch this.
Yeah. Yeah, he could really demonstrate the human condition, as I said. The way a doctor doesn't fire one shot.
because he realizes that, look, even as a human, he realizes that this is kids, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a fantastic scene.
Yeah.
Because it shows the time period perfect on
Yeah. Just straw.
See, they killed now. See, nobody wants to kill.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there she is. And remember, this little girl was released
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the short story.
Paul Cornell let her out the mirror, and then got her
By the
to.
way, I think they were trying to make those short stories bleeding canon. Because short stories like that, I mean, if we ignore them, she's still in that mirror,
Yeah.
you know? But everything they do, let's be honest, is designed to
Yeah.
change.
But this girl turning into a bit of a feminist in real life, do you think that's kind of like everyone turning into a Scientologist about 10 years in Hollywood, ago in Hollywood?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
I
just-
don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
but the Kariba.
as I've always said, right? If women feel like there's not enough, they're not getting the pick of the jobs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then the industry then is at fault, and the industry needs to make changes to make sure that there are more opportunities for women or any other minority group that feels like they're being left behind. That's up to the industries to do, right? And they should. Simple as that. They should. In this day and age, yes. As I said, live and let live. You know what I mean? But I will say this. No matter what happens, though, you should always pick the best person for the
I've
job.
always said that. Yeah, you've got
Right?
it.
So you can have your diversity, you can have whatever you want, but make sure that the person that you get for that job that you want, you get the best talent.
Yeah, it's not
You
called
don't
show friends; it's called
substitute
show business,
because
as Rob Bennett
you
says.
don't substitute because you feel that you have to go a certain. No, you don't. You pick the best talent, and you can spread it out. Eventually, it works itself out. If you put the processes in place, then it can work. It's as simple as look. It's not even that hard. The industry needs to take the steps necessary, and then as I said, if people still think
or else it's going to go bankrupt.
Society, well, then, as I said, sit down and talk about them. We don't get anywhere in life if we just continue to go down the route that we go down. We're not going to get anywhere. Nothing will be sorted, and then we'll be back to square one again. So, no, thank you. Sit down, talk about all the issues out, so we can all move on with our lives and live and let live.
Yeah.
And this scene is bleeding brilliant. Prize. Yeah, man, that plays Baines is bloody epic.
He's good.
Yeah, he's a fantastic actor.
Well, she does. His girlfriend notices straight away.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Problem being, are we going to be back in 10 years' time, back to equality again, saying equity didn't work?
Well, that's what this culture was about, isn't it?
Yeah, like social mobility didn't work. It fell apart after 2 years, and the entire committee regarding it just quit.
I think personally that the working class and the underclass, if you want to call it that, has been betrayed. They've been betrayed because they didn't behave as they should have done in the Brexit vote, in the in the general elections. So they've been betrayed, and now it's all about identity politics, and it's divisive. And I think it's incumbent upon people who identify in these groups to stand up and say, not in my name. I really do believe that it's a very small vocal minority. I don't believe that every alphabet person or every person of color is on board with this message, and I think their voices need to be heard.
It's 1920s all over again, isn't it?
Well, This is
Need
where
to get rid of Twitter first. I think Twitter
Oh
needs to
God,
go.
that's got to go. Dorsey and Twitter have got to go.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Really, we're a bunch of evil family, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, a future doctor lets one of them out.
Yeah, well, it's the 13th Doctor. What do you expect, really?
Yeah.
Shame Rabbi's not here tonight.
Yeah, and the 13th Doctor is a moron, so what do you expect?
Yes. He just comes off like a complete idiot. It's
Yeah.
You know, in between that and getting people killed.
yeah.
Oh, this is the little girl's house. This was I love this, I did, because, you know, that was the implication that, like, they took over that little girl,
Yeah.
like, and they killed her parents.
Yeah. This is the emotional bit, isn't it? It's when
Yeah.
Russell T Davies is saying what happens, you know.
Well, not only that, then when he goes back then as the doctor, and she says to him, "If you hadn't have came here on a whim," like, she kind of gets angry with him, and then he realizes the moral implications of what he's done. And, you know, sometimes it is good when the doctor faces those times, because, you know, he just,
There we go.
sometimes he'll do something, like, for example, in season 1 of New Who, when Christopher Eccleston, he did he what was it, Satellite 5, and then he
Yeah.
got 100 years later, and it's the game station, and he
Yeah.
created that Earth because of the consequence of what he did 100 years before. I like when
Yeah.
you do stories like that. It's always
Yeah.
good for the doctor to sometimes face the reality of the situation and what he's done.
Yeah.
Hey, this is it.
Yes. Yeah, that's and yeah, that's scene is actually quite heartbreaking.
This is brilliant. This is Boy the Kid.
Yeah, he's a great actor as well. I mean,
Yes.
it's by his performance.
Oh, the character options prop is really good. It's not the right size, but it's really good. It's all printed in it.
How did they kind of make it a bit small?
Yeah, the character options on the side of it is a side of a little notepad, but that one's kind of more of a
Yeah.
fake.
Wow.
It's the size of a DVD case, the real thing
Yeah.
we just saw. It's like the size of a real notepad. The character
I
option.
love this scene. Watch. I love this scene because he's just holding it in his hand, starts talking real smart there.
Yeah. It's so intelligently written.
Yeah, this series really is about more of the trauma the Doctor went through after Rose.
Are we allowed to super chat, or is that something for another stream? It's up to the person. Doesn't like. I'm just grateful that you are all here in the chat. But here's the thing: I don't understand why he didn't pick a place that was more. Not less
Inconspicuous, yeah, more inconspicuous.
Because he could have found somewhere where if shit did go down,
yeah,
they had proper weapons.
Yeah, like where he, more inconspicuous, like he did in the Bells of St. John's. He were hidden in a monastery. He didn't use a comedian arch though, but
I mean, yeah, this episode is so sensationally acted. This is what, and this is what it's about Doctor Who, good story and great acting.
Oh, there's where she realizes she's lost him now, and this is where he
Yeah.
realizes now as a human that he actually has to do it.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh well, at least he didn't hide in a lighthouse, I guess.
Yeah.
I just love to have seen Dr. Ruth with that fire alarm on her head. Was it ringing while it was going off? She was going for the chameleon arch.
This is just the acting in this is.
Yeah, Jessica Hines is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's good to see her. She's a great comic actress, but it's good to see her in something.
But this is how you do. You want emotion. You want a bit of romantic love. That's how you do it.
What's her face from Space, isn't it?
That's how you do it.
Oh yes, I loved her in Space.
Yeah, she was great in Space, but back when she was Jessica Stevenson.
Yeah. Yeah. A friend of mine was going, "Oh, I don't know what happened to her." It's like, watch Doctor Who.
This is look deadly though. What his life could have been.
Yeah.
What their lives could have been, I should say.
And yeah, that actually made me cry back in the day. It's just heartbreaking.
That's the thing though, you feel sorry for him as well because that's a life he can never have.
Yeah.
Not anymore anyway.
He had to go through thingy for that, didn't he? He had to be cast down at Millennium Effects for that. He was saying how horrible it was.
And the makeup is not bad there now, even after all this time.
It's better than Prometheus, mate.
Oh god.
That is so much better. Millennium Effects. That's where Ridley Scott should have gone to Millennium Effects for that makeup.
No.
Christ, yeah, I'm seeing it now. There's so much more emotion from David Tennant than there'll ever be from Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah, I mean, he understands the role he did. So, let's be honest, though, because he was on it, and he was one of us, and I can't imagine that he's happy about seeing the show being destroyed the way it has been.
Right, Stony Dean giving us a $5 super chat, and he says, "I'm new to the channel, so forgive the basic question for the panel or chat. Who is your favorite Doctor and story? It's nice being around real fans. Thanks." Well, my favorite if you're asking favorite Doctor, the New Who era, it'd be Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi, but Peter Capaldi ahead of Matt Smith. If it's classic Who, then it's Troughton, Pertwee, and Baker, and I'll put Peter Davison in there because he was my Doctor growing up as a kid. But it changes, rotates all the time. Favorite story, classic Who. I've got a few. Genesis,
Baker, Genesis, the Daleks over here.
I love this bit.
Yeah, me as well. I think, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh, we'll answer your question. This is just over, and then we'll give you more detailed answer in a second. This is brilliant.
I love this.
I love it. Yeah.
Well, my favorite Doctor is the fourth Doctor, Tom Baker. Unquestionably, always will be. New, old, Tom Baker. Best story, favorite story for me. Really tough. Basically, series 12 to 18.
Classic.
Probably City of Death or Pirate Planet, I love.
Well, yeah, that's a great story. That's the Mona Lisa's, isn't it? City of Death. Isn't it?
What about you, PD Rich and Daniel?
Yeah, special effects weren't bad back in the day.
Oh, they were still blinding compared to today.
So what's the rest of the panel's favourite Doctor and story?
Let
Daniel.
that should go first.
Okay, I'll go. Classic Tom Baker and Genesis of Daleks, you can't beat it. Modern, it's definitely David Tennant. It's probably either Forest of the Dead or Journey's End.
The best one's actually this one's actually kind of
This is a good one as well, yeah.
And the best one's actually kind of tough in terms of the classic series, but my favourite new Who Doctor is obviously Capaldi, but if I had to pick
Oh, here we go. Mirror bit. Sorry to interrupt. Mirror bit.
I had to choose like a classic series, but it would have to be. I would have to be John Bell, because I think his performance really did really did the role as a Doctor, and I think as well he just kind of he just kind of shades it over on Baker for me, because I really do think he is a great as a great Doctor, but then again it changes for me as well all the time in terms of favourite and in terms of favourite stories in terms of favourite stories you've got from me for me Heaven Sent.
Yeah, Stoney said like 7 Cent as well. Yeah,
Heaven Sent, Dalek, and Parting of the Ways, Utopia, obviously the S2-parter that we've been watching, Bill, and as well, but in terms of classic, you get Oscar Fenric, Arrival, Genesis of the Daleks, Pyramids of Mars.
Pyramids of Mars is one of my favourites too. I mean, it's just so many.
Pyramids of Mars is a good story as well.
I think my favourite classic, my favourite new Who Doctor is probably it's a toss up between Peter Capaldi and Matt Smith. I think something about Matt Smith I adore, but I think Peter Capaldi was seriously let down.
Yeah. Let's get the ratings for tonight's episode, guys. We'll start with PD Rich. PD Rich, all right?
It's not finished yet.
On tonight's episode there.
You skipped a bit because we're not finished yet. We got
It's still going on.
Is it? Yeah, there's only about 30 seconds left.
Because then we got the World War II. Sorry, the World War One Remembrance bit next. Yeah. Well, I'll give it a 9. It was a very good episode, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it probably an 8.5.
You're always giving it lower marks than everybody on the panel. I think you just do that to be different every week. So what are you taking the 1.5 away from? Explain yourself.
I think there's the Chris Cornell factor in there as well. You know, it really makes it difficult for me. It's always in the back of my mind now. I think it's a close between 8.5 and 9. I think Jessica Hines is fantastic in this.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
I think the cast is great. That's still a good score,
Some people say justify.
Well, Kip Ellis gave it a lower mark than I did, so there you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a 10. Good.
Here we go. I think he's realised he's screwed up with Martha now.
10 out of 10. Good character development and acted and very funny.
Here we go.
And very funny
character development. Where he gives her a hug and then the kid comes up to them. They actually filmed this in the rain.
Yeah.
That wasn't fake rain. It was really raining that day.
Yeah.
Of course it's raining.
Back in the day, you used to get, even though RTD wouldn't give too much away, but he was very good with giving little sneak peeks and exclusives. That's the one thing.
Yeah, Moffat was never very good at doing that.
Yeah.
It was like because you kept looking around. They're either right up with Moffat, was either right in your face, or it just never happened.
Yeah,
he changed everything at the last minute.
Do you know what though? I kind of half wished he would have took this kid on an adventure with him.
Yeah, same.
He went off Mazerung after that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think he. Kind of think he would have been a good companion for it, like maybe a story of.
Yeah, but then of course this moment wouldn't have meant as much. The moment that's coming up in the film wouldn't have meant wouldn't have been as poignant if he had done that. I mean, this is brilliant. This part there, but you are literally in trenches, in a muddy field.
Oh, they were all slipping over. The cast and crew came back caked in mud after this scene. Filming this scene. So the crew were getting stuck in the mud. So it was an absolute mess. It was the worst shoot they ever did.
But probably one of the best stories.
Yeah.
This is a terrific two-parter. Listen, I said it. I've been saying it for years. Season 3 gets a bit of a bad rep.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But I think it's unjustly.
Re-reviewing series for it, it's a good series. It's just the problem is everyone expected. I think everyone's expectations were too high.
Yeah.
I always said it's a Star Trek Insurrection of Doctor Who. Everyone's expectations were so high after Star Trek First Contact that they were expecting far more, and they got just basically
you're right about that.
The continuation, and they all threw a hissy fit about
it. And to be honest, series were just around the corner, which was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely my favourite series.
Same.
I think this moment is very poignant now, where he notices the Doctor and Martha.
Yeah. I just think Series 3, I think, was a victim of its own success, if you know what I mean. But it was a prominent series, though.
I think it's nice that they did this poppy scene as well. I mean, that wouldn't fly today. They would never do that today. That's the irritating thing about it, though.
Look, we have issues, when Irish people wear it. But now it's kind of gone over the years. It's kind of it's not as a big issue as it used to be, sort of thing. But it's still kind of there, especially with the older generation. But no, you're right. This would not fly today. I mean, they've even come out with their idiot. What's it? The white one? Is it a white one? White and then a different color. And I seen a rainbow colored one.
Oh God!
Oh, Jesus
Like,
Christ.
listen, even I, the for Irish people that has a different meaning, right? But to you Grits, it's a it's commemoration for all those people that were lost during wars and stuff like that. So you're right, this wouldn't fly today. The BBC are so scared to do anything that's
Yeah, this is the problem of the future. Everyone's going to be either going to be devil may care, or they're going to be so scared to move. You know what I mean?
so yeah.
Because
So
we got that at the moment with Cyberpunk 2077. Everyone's going, everyone's absolutely up for it, and all the critics are panning it already because it doesn't have our message in it. And it's like that's a bad thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We're not long away from the special. Should be interesting to see what happens in the new year as well. But next week it's Blink. So we'll see how the panel feels about that next week. I mean, that's
Don't
as I
blink.
said, the Weeping Angels. The first time we see them, I have to say one of the best creations of Moffat. The thing that annoyed me though is I know Class gets a bit of stick, but there's a bit of a Weeping Angel cliffhanger there that I wanted to see. I'm sorry because you didn't see it coming. It's absolutely fantastic. Look, no matter what you think of that series, that last episode is actually cracking, and then at the end, holy! Do you know what? It got a bumpy. It wasn't promoted properly. Got a bit of bumpy. It did have a bit of the woke crap in it, but I after that last episode, I thought, okay, they're starting to find their feet. If they get a second season, I think it'll push on now and actually become a lot better because some of the concepts in it were actually pretty interesting. It was just it was kind of let down a little bit because you could see that they kind of didn't know which direction they wanted to bring the show. It was kind of a bit all over the place, uneven. But there are some good concepts in there. But that last episode blew me away.
I was trying to be Buffy the Vampire Slayer Doctor Who.
Yeah, but the last episode blew me away. Holy shit! I dropped me jaw dropped to the floor. Didn't see it coming. Didn't know that. How could it be possible? That's
I just thought they overused the Shadow King way too much. It should have been more like Torchwood.
That was a deadly character. The King. He was bleeding dead. Oh man, it was. I'm telling you.
Like there was was it 8 episodes in the series and 5 were about the Shadow King? It was like,
Never really watched it. I watched a couple of episodes, and
it's like, can we see a normal episode which is not about the Shadow King?
No, I kind of agree with you. Got a bit bogged down on that, but I think I always believed it was leading to something, so I was kind of okay with it. I mean, it's not as bad as people make it out to be, and I will always defend it because it's not that bad. It's not. I've seen worse out there. Trust me.
We've seen worse series 11, 12, soon to be 13.
But this isn't bad. It isn't bad. I just wish more fans would actually give it a bit of a chance and watch the 8.
I did. I couldn't get on with it.
It was too UK Buffy. That's what I thought.
Now, Big Finish did pick it up, but unfortunately, because it was the TV show, they were not allowed to continue the story. So even characters, which I won't say, but even characters that weren't in it were brought back for the Big Finish audios because they couldn't do this. So even on Big Finish, there's never been a continuation of this cliffhanger. I wanted to just come back for one more season to do that bleeding cliffhanger. So tell us what bleeding happened, and then if you want to end it after season 2, good. But they should have gave us another season. That's ridiculous, man. Leaving on a cliffhanger like that. Get away. I tell you what, give Class to the woke crowd. Release it again now. They'll love it. Just give me my first decent episode of the cliffhanger, and then you can walkify the rest of it, and I'll walk away. I just want to know how they're involved. It's annoying me. Oh,
Yeah.
it didn't have an
As I
identity.
said, my problem with it was just it felt like UK Buffy. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
did.
that's
It was just not as hard heavy hitting as Torchwood. It was
No,
not as fun as Sarah Jane Adventures. It was kind of like horribly in between.
I thought it was pretty gruesome. Now, in fairness, I mean, in
Yeah.
the first episode, one of the characters gets their legs chopped off.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, it's pretty gory. You
Yeah.
see it. You know, they don't leave that into the imagination.
Yeah.
And Peter Capaldi's cameo, wild, kind of out of place a little bit.
Yeah.
I was actually delighted to see him, and he has a little moment where he looks at the wall and he sees Clara's name. And some people were speculating, is this him starting to remember again? Because he has a bit of a moment at the wall where her name is. So yeah, 'cause it's not as bad as people make it out to be, but you know, I've seen worse. So
We got the caretaker reference of half the school burnt
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Does anybody else want to add anything about tonight's episode before we leave it there and say good night to everybody?
Now I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Fantastic. Lee, any last words?
No, just I just wish certain writers could keep their fucking mouth shut and just produce some good Doctor Who and not undo their work just to pander to crazy people.
It's an art form, not a platform.
Yeah.
Matthew
Very well
said
said.
class was so good that they aired it at midnight. Listen, I agree with you. Listen. I know you don't. I know you definitely hate class, right? But for me,
I hate it too.
saying the things I liked in it, and it was pretty. It was decent enough. It wasn't. Look, as someone said in the chat, it did have an identity crisis. That's what the big thing was. Which market were you pandering to? Were you pandering to the American audience or the British audience? Like
That's
it was quite a bit like that. And then, you know, as I said, some of the concepts were really, really great. I mean, one of the characters' fathers come back. Well, she thinks it's her father. And
the guy from Chernobyl.
Yeah, but it's deadly, man. But Chernobyl actually is a great series.
That was brilliant,
Very
amazing.
good.
Very
Very good.
And with that, I just want to say thank you to everybody that did join us late. I apologize for that. We'll be back on Wednesday, though. So thanks, everybody in the chat. I hope everything was okay. I know someone tried to join earlier on 4 times, by the way. Used Rabbi's name. Lucky that we know that Rabbi goes to bed at a certain time every night. That he's like clockwork. That I knew.
Is that anti-Semitic trying to impersonate a rabbi? We'll have to ask him next time he's on.
Yeah, exactly. We will, won't we? Because that was funny. As if I'm going to be that stupid. I'll be coming on again. As simple as that. Thanks for the super chats as well, everybody. Thank you for taking part in the chat, and all you guys on the panel. Thank you. You've been absolutely wonderful, and I think all the channels have been thrown up there all night. Tim is there with a big laughy emoji. Yeah. Brilliant. It was a good one by PD Rich, wasn't it? Right, folks, I'm going to say good night, and I will talk to you all Wednesday. Say good night, panel.
Good night,
Night, guys.
Why not? Just to the end.